Happy Wednesday, CCMP family. Pastor Jason here with you. Man, I hope that you're having a great week again this week. I hope you were encouraged, inspired by the message that Jeff Drake brought to us on the fact that we're commanded and commissioned to follow. I hope that you were greatly impacted by the fact that you have a lasting impact. Even if you're here, you can make a lasting impact globally as well. And so today I want to follow up with what we talked about last Wednesday as well, because last Wednesday I gave you that amazing story and our need to have character, and that amazing story of Vespasian and coming to faith in Christ, and the 40 wrestlers that wrestled in front of Nero, but they all accepted Christ and they faced the consequences and they suffered for that. But this week I want to dig into that idea a little bit more, because the beauty of that comes from really the fact that we're called to be above people who are above reproach. Last week in 2 Timothy, I looked at the fact that we are called to be soldiers. We are called to be athletes, and we're called to be farmers, and we're called to be strong, and we're called to be people who can be trusted. And too often in Christian spheres, our message is dulled by our very own lack of character. And so the challenge to you today is going to be just that. How can we be people of character? And I want to break that down just a few minutes today. And I'm going to be in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 23 through 25. So just a few verses today. Maybe I'll go into 26 if I get excited. So, everything, and this is a verse that many of you have heard. Verse 23, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything builds up. No one is to seek his own good, but the good of the other person. Eat everything that is sold in the meat market without raising questions for the sake of conscience, since the earth is the Lord's and all that is in it. And I love that. And I want to focus firmly on those first couple verses. Because so often we understand that we are free in Christ. We are free in Christ. But I want us to understand that what we do with our freedom is so important. I'm not going to say it's just as important, because the freedom was purchased on Calvary, and I don't think much, if anything, is greater than that. But I do think it is valuable and impactful what you do with the freedom that Jesus gave his life to purchase. And here's what Paul writes to the church in Corinth. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything builds up. That's verse 23. And really, when I think of CCMP, we are a healthy church. And if anything is healthy, it's going to grow. And so I look at all of the churches in this community and I look at them and I say, why? We need to address, why are we not growing? Or if we are growing, if we aren't growing, why are we not growing? And it's just like when you go to the doctor. You ask the doctor to reveal what's wrong with you or why you feel a certain way, or maybe it's your well checkup. I encourage everyone to go to a wellness checkup every year. But go to your wellness visit and he takes your labs, takes your vitals, and he's there to tell you if there's something that's out of whack or out of line. And I find value in that. I go every year to get my physical done. I may not like everything that he tells me, but I accept, I want to know what my numbers are. What are your numbers today? And if you put your finger on your pulse, what would it say? Are you healthy? And my question is, in your spiritual health, are you healthy? Are you growing? Or are you still living on the same spiritual victories that we experience so often? Because in Isaiah 43, I remember a place where God spoke through the prophet and said, all these things that I've accomplished are great. Don't forget them. But I want to do a new thing. I want to bring new rivers in dry places. And I believe that CCMP is that in this community. And I see, as we continue to see every step along the way at the future campus of CCMP up on a hill, he wants to do new things in this community. He wants us to hold on to the beauty of what it is to be a Christian, but He wants to do it through new mediums. And each and every one of you has a place to play in that, has a part to play in that. But ultimately, I think all of that will be determined by how we interpret everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. I'm free to go to McDonald's and eat from McDonald's. I'm free to live off of spiritual scraps. I'm free to live off of what I hear on Sunday and not do anything else till I get to Sunday. But let me, ladies and gentlemen, you will never be able to grow if that is all you do. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything builds up. Are you building up? Are you growing up? Or are you still struggling in your own spiritual walk? And don't get me wrong, we all go through tense seasons. But it never should stop us from growing. And so as I leave our thought with this is, today and this week, put your finger on the pulse. Where are you at? I challenged us a couple weeks ago with our heart is formed by our recognition of God. Our identity, and that's where most of us struggle. We live in a depressed and anxious age. And most of us are there because of we are at an identity crossroads. Because we've lived our life a certain way, but now we proclaim Jesus. And if our life doesn't match up with what we proclaim, we will find ourselves at an identity crossroads. And so presence with God is the only thing that can shape that identity. Presence with the Lord through genuine desiring to be in His Word, genuine study. We have Disciples Path tonight. We have different places for you to grow. We want you to grow. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. What are some things that need to come out of your diet today so that you can grow into what Jesus has called you to grow into? Love you. Praise y'all. Excited to be with y'all this weekend. It's Father's Day weekend. Honor the fathers in your life. Maybe that's your next step. Maybe your dad, from your opinion, wasn't the best father figure. But we're still called to honor our Father. And so my challenge to you in the next few days, Thursday, Friday, the weekend, Sunday, honor your Father in some way or form. May it even be a call, a text. May you be a person who brings peace. We keep waiting for other people to restore, to bring restoration to our life. But Christ has called us to bring restoration to their life. Maybe we should be the ones to step across the line first. I hope you're able to honor your fathers, because that's what we're going to do. Pastor Snow has an amazing message for just that. So be encouraged, be inspired. I can't wait to be with you this Sunday, 9:30 and 11. Have a great week. Take care.